Most of us spend decades saving for retirement, but new research shows that when it comes time to actually spend that money, many retirees freeze up. Here to help us understand why and what to do about it are Terri Fielder, President of Retirement Services at Corebridge Financial, and personal finance expert and best-selling author Jean Chatzky. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Well, I want to be here. Great to have you. I want to start with you, Terri. What does this new Corebridge research reveal about retirement savings in Americans?
Yeah, our research reveals that there's actually a disconnect between the retirement that people envision and how they feel about spending the money when they get there. 6 in 10 people associate retirement with words like freedom and enjoyment, but yet only 25% of people feel comfortable with seeing their assets decline when they're in their retirement phase. And people have worked and saved for their entire careers, yet when they get to the retirement phase of their life, they haven't prepared themselves psychologically to spend down that money.
To you, Jean, what do you think is driving the anxiety around spending the savings?
A whole lot of uncertainty about things like how long we're going to live. Longevity rates have been going up, and about what healthcare costs are likely to be toward the end of life, and about all the different economic factors, the markets, inflation, interest rates, all of these things that we can't control make us really, really anxious. And as a result, 40% of people in retirement tell us they have held off on spending, not spent as much as they had wanted, specifically because they're trying to preserve the balances in their retirement accounts. The solution seems to be having a specific plan to help you through that decumulation or spending phase. Once people have the plan, they're much more comfortable, much more confident, and they enjoy the spending even more.
Terri, should people rely on this 4% plan?
Yeah, rules of thumb can be a good starting point, but retirement is really too personal and complex and there's just not a one-size-fits-all. So each of us have individual retirement dreams and aspirations, and there's so many different factors that go into it, such as Social Security or health care costs, longevity, as Jean has talked about. And so having a personalized plan that fits your retirement aspirations and dreams and your spending plan is more important than any rule.
Jean, are there steps people can take now before they retire to make sure that they'll have the confidence and the flexibility to actually spend their retirement savings when they have the freedom and the time to spend it?
Absolutely. Figure out as best you can what your retirement is likely to cost. When are you going to retire? Where are you going to retire? Then sit down with a financial professional and plot it out so that you can see what your runway into retirement and through retirement is going to look like. Once you've got it mapped out in that way and you know where your sources of income are going to come from, Social Security, assets that you convert into guaranteed income, pensions, if you're fortunate enough to have one, the confidence level starts to rise.
Terri, where can viewers go for more resources and information?
Yeah, a good resource is corebridgefinancial.com/decumulation.
Thank you so much. Thanks for this great conversation and for your time, Terri, Jean. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.